Hello and welcome to the Nonsense Chronicles. This is Doug Sashery, and as always, I am joined by
Rob Mendiola.
Greetings, Rob.
Greetings, Doug. How's it going, man?
It is going good today, man, and I know your day got better today.
It's a good day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Rob's his little travel oxygen machine that he wears post-COVID. Thank you, COVID. That took part of his lungs. He wears oxygen under his nose, and he has a system at home. But when he travels, he goes out. He still plays music a little bit, and when he travels to work, he brings it with him. Now, look, I've seen him not in my vehicle and say, "Okay, we don't have an adapter. I'm fine. I can make it," and he can get to the house. But now having that thing is kind of important. And his wife fretted all day that their machine went out and it was going to take 72 hours. No, that woman got it done today. So
Yeah.
kudos to Spring, man.
Super girl.
Yeah, she is fantastic, man.
Yeah.
But today, and today only, we are here talking with Mr. Tim Kramer. How you doing, Tim?
Oh, doing great. It's a beautiful day.
It is a beautiful day, my man. And Tim is with Indian Hills. What do you call it?
It's Indian Hills Nudist Park.
Nudist Park. I was going to say, can't call it a colony. You know, it's a park.
Yeah.
And I did a little research, and I was curious about this. And I'm sure the '60s had a big influence on it, but from what I understand, the first nudist colony was in India. Is that correct?
I'm actually not that familiar with the whole history of it. I was kind of pulled into it the last 5 years because my parents are the actual owners of the place, and they're the ones who needed some help managing it. So I came in and helped them out. Yeah, I mean, I know Germany is really big into the history of it, but I didn't know the actual beginnings of it.
Yeah, no, I did get that as well. From what I read, Germany was a big player from post-World War One, and then of course the war slowed that down. But New Jersey, I believe, had the first, which is still in existence today. I think it was called the Sky Club or something, but it's changed names. And then there's another one that still exists, and which is kind of amazing, So
Yeah, for the U.S. because U.S. has such a different culture,
Well, yeah, and in times of come and change and all that, and I'm sure, like I said, sometimes some periods of time it was really frowned upon, and then the '60s, I'm sure that opened it wide back open, So, but tell us a little bit about the place in New Orleans, man. It's the only one in the state.
Right. So we are a 48-acre campground. We are in Slidell, actually, so just 45 minutes north of New Orleans. We been around since 1971. So yeah, the 70s were a lot of building in the nudist community after the 60s had come through. There was actually all three local to this area back in the 70s.
Wow.
And the last one closed in 2006, so just after Katrina. I think it had a lot to do with their closings. And so as of 2008, we are the only nudist park in Louisiana.
Wow.
That's it, man. So I'm sure you get a lot of traffic probably from South Alabama and Mississippi as well.
Correct. Mississippi does not have any sort of nudist facilities. There's one island on the river somewhere, and it's still not official. Alabama does have a couple, but they're more in the north, in the mountainy areas for there.
Yeah, they call it in your they're called Naturalist as well, right? Is that correct?
So naturist. So a naturalist is a person who actually studies nature. Okay. A naturist is a person who likes to be nude in nature and likes to be naturally naked.
Now I know.
Now you know.
It is a lot of confusion, believe me.
They I did look at the 71. I was reading about y'all about the all about us section, and y'all seem to have a bunch of you have room for tents, you have campsites.
So anybody's welcome. Is this it?
Yeah, it is. It is open to everyone. It is open to the public. Over 18 is at this point. The history of family nudism is is that everyone was invited, and we were that way up until COVID occurred. And without having kids during COVID, a lot of the people felt more comfortable and safe, and so we just kind of kept it that way after COVID as well.
Okay, yeah, that's just probably a smart idea, man. And I know y'all have RV hookups. Y'all have cabins for rent, and you can pay as I think you can pay when you get there, or you can do an annual fee. Is that correct?
So the way it is that you can pay for the day fees when you're here, or you can buy a membership. So that membership's good year from date kind of thing, and you can either be by yourself or with with another person as a couple. But to have any of the stays, you still have to pay the day you come in. So if you want a tent camp, cabin, bring in your own RV. We also have residents. We have people who live here full time. Some who just come for a month, 3 months, whole year. Just depends on what their lifestyle is. We get the snowbirds in the winter. Not as many as Florida and Texas, but we do get our little share.
Yeah, I heard I was reading there's a county in Florida, and I can't remember the name of it, that apparently has a very high concentration of it. It's like the U.S. capital. Like there's a place in France that's supposed to be the quote unquote world capital of it, and
Cap Dodge.
Yeah, and I'm kidding. When you go in though, you have to give ID. Don't y'all vet people before they go in?
Correct. So everyone who comes in for their first time has to provide an ID. They have to sign their waiver, just kind of saying that they understand the rules, those kind of things. And our main rules are very simple. It's be an adult and act like an adult at all times. Privacy is important, so do not take pictures of anyone else. There are places where nudity is required, whereas other places nudity is just allowed. And so, it's kind of clothing optional versus nudity required spaces. Nudity required in that pool hot tub, that kind of space is just kind of that safety for everyone who's fully nude. Just kind of keeps away a lot of the gawkers if there is that nude requirement part. And then the safety things like don't dive, don't bring glass bottles around, don't get completely drunk. We do allow drinking. We don't sell food or alcohol ourselves. Everything is BYOB.
Yeah, it's kind of a smart play. Now, y'all ever does I'm kind of curious. Does the state monitor that at all, or no?
So they monitor the main things that the health facilities would. So it's as long as we don't have that sales license, then they don't really come and check to see kind of thing. But they could at any point. But like I said, because we don't sell that food or alcohol, that provides a little bit of safety towards us. As we since we're on a fringe sort of, as far as what the state would like us to do, we do make sure that we protect ourselves from those kind of things.
Yeah, I think that's a very smart move. Is no food or drink, because then you avoid a lot of red tape that way, and a lot more eyes, and scrutiny. And that's a smart play, man. What brought you into personally? What brought you into doing this? Was this something that the family always had a part of, or how'd that work out for you?
So it all starts with my parents. They left me at home while I was a teenager, and supposedly went to the hunting camp, but apparently they were coming here. And so in the 90s, they were here coming to visit, and then by the time I went to college, they decided that they were going to sell the home and move here permanently. I still was away for college, so really didn't know too much about it until they did finally sell the family home. And then to be able to come and visit for holidays, I had to come to the place. And I got to know a lot of the people. I was never naked until later on, kind of was just there visiting. And then eventually I'm like, you know what? I want to go to the pool. It's hot. Because I came for 4th of July week and stayed and kind of felt at ease when I finally did it and never really looked back.
Well, apparently not, because apparently you had the nickname Naked Jesus.
That is now my current nickname. Just the long hair, the beard kind of thing. People were going around. Yeah, calling me just calling me Jesus as a joke. And then when I got on TikTok, somebody on there said you should call yourself Naked Jesus. So I made a whole nother TikTok profile as Naked Jesus, and it kind of has gone off from there.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go, man.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I got asked by a couple people to ask, hey, tell me how he got that name. Yeah, I was like, well, it's kind of obvious, but yeah, let's find out personally. But good job, man. Now, what about y'all? Yeah, you talked about Gawkers. Do you ever have any problem with that kind of scenario or anything like that?
Yeah, you do. It's very rare, and mostly the members kind of point them out pretty quickly to us. And as long as they're not making anyone truly uncomfortable, there's not much to do. But once they are obvious that they're not getting naked, we go and talk to them, and if they still haven't changed, then we just ask them to leave. And we give them a chance to come back, but they have to definitely be naked, kind of thing. That kind of stuff is not a big deal. It's not as common a thing. Most of the things we deal with is just people who do come here to be naked, but then while we are a non-sexual location, and that's very big in our naturist kind of outbringing, there are people who come for the wrong reasons. In that sense, they are looking for more of a sexual encounter, and when they start to creep people out, that's when we have to step in and get rid of them, and oftentimes have to end up banning them.
Yeah, because
that's good.
Yeah, because it's a completely different. It's not a swingers club.
But it's good to keep a safe environment for everyone.
Naturist,
Yeah.
Is that right? Is it naturist?
Naturist.
Yeah, the
Naturist.
Naturist has always been a thing, and yeah, that's good that they keep that different. But yeah, I was kind of curious because I knew you'd have. In this society, there's always something. There's always somebody who will cross the line, or test it.
Yeah, we have quite a long block list on our phone of people who try to call in and say crazy and inappropriate things. Like, oh, well, you don't want to come back. Block.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
How
Yeah.
far away are y'all pulling people from? What states are y'all bringing people in from?
We are really pulling people from all over the world. We have people from England that actually come and visit us as well. Our wintertime, we'll have several Canadians, people from Maine and Washington State, Minnesota, Michigan, that'll come and visit and stay for a week or a month. A lot of Wisconsinites. Wisconsinites really like to come around and visit. But yeah, so, because we're halfway between Florida, which has a lot, and Texas, which has a lot, we get a lot of people who come and stop in the middle of the week and visit and stay for a couple of days while on their travels.
Yeah, and I figured, people want to go to New Orleans. It's and you're into that lifestyle. That's definitely an easy stay for you. If you're looking for somewhere to stay.
Yeah.
And as fact, I did not know that we had them. I had no clue, that they existed in Texas until
I couldn't name one in Texas.
Yeah, until I looked it up and I sent some to Rob, some that are very close to us. So.
Oh, is that what you sent me today?
Yeah.
I was at work. I didn't.
It's right by in Porter, right by.
Oh wow.
Your aunt's
that
place.
makes sense. Yeah, Porter.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's
Porter's kind of wild.
Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 that are pretty close.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just something we were curious about, man. It's
not something people talk about mostly. I mean, hardly
right.
ever,
You either do look it up and then realize that they are everywhere, or if you never talk about it, it never comes to mind and never really shows up.
Which is
it's
weird.
not something that is advertised all that often,
Yeah.
Which is something I've tried to change for our own place, is try to advertise to let people know that this is even really a thing. A lot of people just thought that that's just made up stories or that happened in the 60s and 70s and it disappeared.
Yeah, I think you just don't hear about it. So.
No, yeah. Do y'all have is that area, y'all have a active Instagram?
Yeah, so we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, sorry.
Yeah.
Blue Sky is a new one that's coming out. Like I said, I got actually 2 different ones for TikTok. Obviously we don't show anything TikTok, but unless me just stomach up kind of situation.
Yeah, that's good for that. You know what? In this day and age, it's a good advertisement is to get your socials up, get your hashtags in there, and people will see it.
So what are the big misconceptions about nudist camps?
There's an orgy every day.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't happen. There are people who come as part of their groups, and they may be using the campground as a meeting spot and go into their own campers or cabins and stuff. But that's up to them. But that doesn't happen out in the open. What are the other misconceptions? That we are naked all the time.
Okay.
No nudists. I mean, there's people who may be naked as much as they can, but most nudists are also clothed as much as they are naked. It's just that we have that ability to get naked and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That's what the place is. It's just a place that you can feel comfortable, that you won't feel stress. And there's a lot of big body positivity to it as well. You have a lot of people who realize that those clothes were being judged by others versus their body is not actually what's being judged.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a self-confidence and becoming, in touch with nature. Yeah.
A sense of freedom, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and so our diversity here is amazing. It's not it. Oh, the other myth, it's all old white guys.
Yeah.
Yes, there are a lot of old white guys here, but there's also a lot of diversity. Every different shape, size I've seen. We have people in every different community that comes. We have trans people that actually come as well. People who are intersex.
Wow.
We see it all, and they realize it's a place that they can feel comfortable.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I think I would fry. I don't think there's anybody as pale as I am. I think I would fry in about a half second.
Oh, my wife is pale. She gets fried every time. She doesn't come out during the day. She comes only out.
I get that, man.
Yeah, you have to take the vampire hours.
Yeah, that's right. The nighttime. Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. And
which is good because we do like to party at night too. So we have bonfires in the winter. We do karaoke every week. We have a large list of events that we have on our website.
Yeah, I did. I did see all that. Y'all do have a very active schedule that continues on. That's pretty cool, man. And that is pretty cool.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
What about give us those socials, man? Give us your social accounts what are they listed under? That way we can make sure our listeners hear it.
All right, I'm gonna have to go walk and grab a. There's so many of them I don't remember. You don't look at them yourself unless you.
Oh, I know the feeling.
Brochure. Let's see. Facebook at Indian Hills NP. Instagram is Indian Hills _nudist. Our X is at Indian Hills NP as well, so just like Facebook.
Okay.
And then the TikTok is at Indian Hills Nudist Park, or at naked _Jesus.
There you go.
Nice.
Hey, man.
I've got it all covered. Or
yeah.
Uncovered.
Yeah, that's fantastic, man.
Uncovered.
Now, is there anything else that you would want your potential guests to know when they're coming out to your place?
Just come in with no expectations of it's going to be a certain way. Come in with an open mind. Realize that you have the chance to make it kind of what you want it to be, but also as you can just follow the rules, you're going to have a great time.
When they show up, do you have like a kind of like a walkthrough before or something like that?
Yeah. So like I say, we do take their ID and we make them sign the policy sheet, and then we give them a tour of the facilities. They jump on the golf cart with me or my sister or one of the other workers, and we'll go around and show them around, go through the main rules. Usually if it's a single guy, I'll give them the kind of the, hey, you are under a little more scrutiny, just be aware.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that would be, that's smart, especially in this day and age.
So nobody has an excuse. Like everybody knows the rules when they get there, so it should be cool. Right?
Yeah.
In fact, their website is points that out about the importance of reading the rules and stuff, and then get there early your first time because you're going to have to spend 15, 20
But I think
minutes.
it's good that you greet them when they come there. That way they can't say, well, nobody told me that, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the most common complaint we get about the tour is that they have to stay clothed for the tour.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, well, we're uncomfortable because everybody else is naked. Like, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
you'll survive.
You'll get your time.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Yeah.
That's cool, man.
That is very cool, man. Tim, thanks so much for talking to us today, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we have to educate ourselves every day, and we're always looking for some topics that people haven't dived into too much, and I think this is definitely one for us.
You just never hear about nudist parks.
No,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of like being adopted. You don't
got to
really
get it out there, man.
You don't really talk about it, and unless somebody brings up, oh yeah, I'm adopted. Yeah.
Yep.
So, well, that's Tim with Indian Hills
Nature Park.
No.
Naturalist Park.
No.
Nudist Park.
Nudist Park.
We're gonna get that all written out.
Yeah, we will. And,
We're not gonna mess it up.
Indian Hills Nudist Park.
Nudist Park.
It's located in Slidell, Louisiana, which is just a short jog from New Orleans. So
Cool.
anyhow, Tim, thanks for joining us. And for our listeners out there, please find their sites and like and subscribe. And we actually do that to our podcast too. And we are
Right.
Go ahead.
Sorry, that's LouisianaNudist.com is the main website.
We got you. That's right.
We're gonna put them all on there, right?
Yeah, we will.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll get it right.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today, and we are out of here.
Later.